So, what do you think leaders need to do today in order for our communities to economically thrive?
I think one of the biggest challenges that our communities face is that leaders try to either do everything or try to be responsible or manage everything. So, one of the best ways that we could help our communities thrive economically is to let go of the reins. And by that I mean have good managers in place so that your team and your staff are working at the most efficient level that they can, where they're not being micromanaged, where community members or staff members aren't running to chief and council because they have an issue about something, where your management team has the authority to make decisions, to implement decisions, to seek direction from the leadership, but then to carry that out independently. And with businesses and economic development, I think we need to get away from this notion of landlocked. We have reserve land, and that's the only possible land we could ever possibly use to develop some kind of an economy. When you look at case studies, you can see communities that have been successful that have leveraged some kind of manufacturing or leveraged some kind of business plan outside of their community lands. And that's particularly important for us on the coast because our reserves are very, very small. We don't have the luxury of 30,000 hectares of land. We have very small communities. We're fighting for housing. To use those lands for economic development is just not feasible. So we need to get away from landlocked or resource-based economies and start thinking about the intellectual movement, thinking about the knowledge highways, and thinking about other means in which we can develop our businesses. We also need to invest in entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurship is so key and fundamental, and is actually pretty traditional in terms of who we are as Indigenous peoples. Having the opportunity for our citizens to go out and develop businesses for themselves and to make economies. Those are the kinds of things that we need to have happen. It doesn't all have to be through a First Nations development corporation. We need to let go of those reins, and leadership needs to have confidence in everyone around them, not just in themselves.